Time out is Kelsito. The spirit coach, Giddy you form for the age of Aquarius. Yeah, again. Let's see if I can set this up. Big chair, big space. I don't like how dark it is though. I'm thinking we should go outside. Should we go outside? I'm standing in the backyard. I think that's what I'm feeling. I might go outside. I might go outside. Um, as y'all can see, I had a video up. I put a video up, like, I want to say my last video, you know what I'm saying, it was deleted and things. It was more than about 50, this is more than 50 seconds. I always do lives more than 50 seconds. I don't know how this live condensed to 50 seconds and just kept 50 seconds up there and things. Likely because of my title, how I was saying like nobody want to be a hater. Nobody want to be a hater for real, which is true. Nobody wants to come out in the open and be a hater. But you do have some people like behind the scenes that, like I said, when I said nobody want to be a hater for real, that mean in real life. Like, you know, you don't want, nobody want to be a hater amongst other individuals and be pointed out as a hater. So they got to do that energy behind the scenes and shit like that. So they gotta do that secretly. Like you gotta be a secret hater. Like that's the only way that it's gonna make sense. You know what I'm saying? You can't let nobody know, oh, I'm hating on this person. Oh, this person did this or whatever type shit, you know? But yeah, I'm feeling I'm probably gonna go outside with it too. And stuff like that because I do got a little, not even a little, a lot of things to cover. You know, some things that can be discussed here today. So we can either do this up here, which I'm not really feeling and things, but I do want the camera to be sat down and I don't want the Wi-Fi to tweak and stuff. So I may stay up here. I just may stay up here. But it's cold up here. So let me go grab my jacket. Yeah, that shit was cold too. Like that last video was cold. Like I just don't. I wish it saved, but it didn't. You know what I'm saying? But that, like I said, it's just, you know what I'm saying. So motherfuckers trying to prove a point that if you want to hate, you just gotta be secret with it and things. And that's kind of a little context we gonna get in today too. Um, let me put this up here. That's kind of the context we gonna get in today too, with how white boy and them secretly play God and stuff, because you know they can't really do these things on the forefront, so everything got to be, I'm saying, secrecy. Like, you know, they can't get on YouTube and be like, hey, this is what we do. We rather manipulate type vibe. You know what I'm saying? So that's the type of swag they on. That's the type of vibe they be on and things. And a lot of you that's just, you know, caught up in, you know, regular societal routines and stuff like that. You know, you think society is just all good and built off cookies and stuff like that. You want a cookie, and you know, you may think society is in your favor, and it's really not. Other than that, you wouldn't even have no white boys on getting on platforms talking about you should vote for a Democratic Republic and other sides is, you know, uh, you know, Guidos and um, PDF files and stuff like that. You know, you wouldn't even have that in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So if it was just regular life, like if it was just like I shouldn't pay attention to nothing. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're a man, you know what I'm saying? I should block out all things that ain't got nothing to do with my religion or something like that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta pay attention to things. You wouldn't even have no white boys on here. They talk about stuff you don't know what they talking about. So, you know what I'm saying? On some level, it's about knowing what's being talked about. You know, do I like this? I'm trying to see. I do like it, but I feel like a little bit closer. I do like it, but it's just kind of stuff. Guess I want a little bit more level, if you feel what I'm saying, like that, and hopefully they don't minimize this video to 50 seconds. So all of y'all screen record this and stuff like that too, because I don't, if they delete this video or whatever and whatever. So they wanted to do that because my last video was titled nobody wanted to be a hater for real and stuff like that. And I broke that down clearly and things, so they just had to show you that yeah, it's people that's gonna hate on you if you bring this type of content type shit. But that matters none and shit like that. So we gonna get into some actual energies that they be in. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to these things, is my face blurry? I feel like it's a little blurry. Let me wipe it off. Okay. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Get the tea. A little white buck and stuff. Happy New Moon Scorpio to everybody. And things. Hold on, my face dry. Let me get some lotion. Put some lotion on my shit too. So, you know, if you a black person and whatever and whatnot, and you done went to college and stuff, well, unless you went to college and stuff, you ain't waking up like, or somebody in your family went to college or somebody got money or something like that, you ain't waking up like, yeah, today you got it made. You know what I'm saying? You're not waking up like that. You looking at it like, um, I gotta get it. And you also looking at other people that have them circumstances where like family members mostly went to college, um, which is basically just assimilated into the American system, which they're very open about speaking about, and they're very confident in how they speak about that's what they doing and things. And so you're not really realizing like, okay, why is it blurry, man? It's kind of blowing me a little bit. Did I scratch the motherfucking screen right there? I think I did. No, it's clearer now. Just need a little shit. But yeah, you're not looking at it like um and it's this lighting too. But yeah, you're not looking at it like I got a fair chance, right? Unless I'm into one of these things, unless I'm into college, unless I'm go to a school where I can get a trade. You know what I'm saying? Unless I have a character that's accepted enough where I can get picked to be a castanet or something like that, or where I could even have friends or family that will want to vouch for me because I got this type of background. I got a college degree background. I got a pick background. I got money background. Oh, and also, you know, this is just a um this is an honorary one. You know, I'm a gangster background and things. And all of these, if you're not into one of these and they're successful, aka, you know, the gangster role, you know, you didn't hit enough people upside the head or scammed enough people where you're rich and things, you know, and now you can kind of wash the money and things and be in society. If you don't have that role, if you don't got the um I got enough family support where, you know, I could just be a two shoes and things and you know, my family may give me money and things for, you know, my business, long as I do the role. Or if you ain't been, I can go to college and I got enough background to show them that I'm into enough of their concepts to where I can be picked for one of their shows. If you ain't got that type of character, or if you ain't got you, so you're not waking up like with, you know, looking at it like you got access within the society of what we call America today. Now, and that's also dependent on your awareness because you got to get out a little more. You know what I'm saying? You got to go to these, you know, certain areas where they be at. I mean, you will see like, okay, these people, you know what I'm saying, being funded by the Americas and stuff like that. You know, they which and especially we talk about foreigners, Africans, Chinese, Jamaicans, Indians, whether the West, no, not the Western Indians, the Eastern Indians, um, you know, Arabs. Um, if you not showing that mentality and things of that nature, you know, you already looking at it like, okay, something is up because if I could, you know, exercise the same um, awareness, you know, to things where I can participate, you know what I'm saying? I can do this, that, and the third. But the only thing that's blocking me is access and things. Okay, that's one problem. Then on top of that problem, they throw another problem on it. Boom. They spookiness, religion. So, you know, um, not only you need to turn to the Lord or something ain't doing wrong, and then the Lord is embedded in a lot of they programs, right? News, college, and whatever. You see Trump and them trying to get it back shaking and shit like that. You see they trying to put religion back. Um, Whatever. I just saw Nicki Minaj and shit like that, whatever. And I understand. I feel like I understand what Nicki Minaj doing. She trying just to give people the right of that in general, where that's the thing when we can talk about this politics and stuff like that, and how they play God and things of that nature, because you can't just wake up and do whatever the fuck you want to do today. If you a person, you know, that don't got this background, you got to work a minimum wage job. One of these backgrounds I was talking about earlier, you got to work a minimum wage job, and you gotta you got you gotta go 10 times harder. Where hopefully you don't get into the negative end of it, which is like turning um, gangster and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And now you just doing anything for attention. You want to catch hats and stuff like that. You gotta chill out a little bit and things. Like everybody gotta chill out. But you're not just waking up with access to do whatever you want to do. Now you can be like, oh well, it's just meant to be. It's just it's just how it is. That's just the way it is. Like you can be like that. Like it's just the way it is. Things will never be the same. You could be like that. Like oh, it's just regular. No, but it's a reason for that. And things of that nature. And you gotta understand one of the first reasons for that they have that is based upon how the system is built, right? It's built off somebody taking over type shit. You know what I'm saying? Somebody taking over and doing things that, that's crash out behavior. You know what I'm saying? So we got the most extreme crash out people that you ever imagined ever in in power in politics and everything. So they crash out, get deep. You know what I'm saying? They crash out, go hard. They crash out, go harder than you ever thought, harder than you could think of. You know what I'm saying? So even when we get into music and things, and why the people that's popular within the music industry at the moment and things, y'all see them promoting that. Y'all see them promoting crash outs. That behavior is rewarded because it is a part of the actual system. Y'all screen record this too because they be deleting my videos. Y'all see them reward that behavior. Ain't nobody want to fucking listen to King Von and shit like that, and they can't rap. Nobody want to listen to Lil Durk either. You know what I'm saying? Nobody want to listen to them niggas. Nobody want to listen to Zay OTF and shit like that, and all of that. And so you see where that behavior is rewarded and things via attention and obviously them making them puppets and shit like that, where they at least living rich and shit, but they become their puppets and shit or their examples. That behavior is rewarded because it remind them of what they did when they got it. They crashed out and used metals and used force and things and took over type shit, control. So these is they babies. You know what I'm saying? These is they babies. These is they creations. So they want to protect that. You know what I'm saying? And that's all you can that's all they able to do. They don't have no like smarts where the shit that they do is can like actually do anything. You gotta accept the bullshit. Like you gotta accept uh what they give you is something. You know? You gotta accept that shit into your life. So so the whole thing is basically a politrick and we gonna break it down too. So so you won't be lost as an individual, you know what I'm saying, on this path. And that's where they like you to be at and things. So, like I said, once you got that, you wake up, you like, man, I can't do what the fuck I want to do and things. That come from somewhere. And then, but two, you add it on to religion. You add religion onto that, right? And now it's some other reason than the actual reason that you can't do. And the main reason that you can't do what you want to do is because motherfuckers then took over. Motherfuckers then created colonization, right? And things. Now, don't, when you think about that, you will start thinking like, damn, how they do that? They were smart as hell. Like these motherfuckers was smart as hell. Like how did they take over a whole city? Don't look at it like that. I mean, how did they take over a whole country? The civilization and shit was like that was already running and things. You just had people that was hungry and stuff like that and needed assistance, right? That turned to crash outs, right? And so don't look at it like they was just smart. How did they create? No, we all created it. We the people, we still here. We still work the jobs. We still come up with the inventions. We still so one of the things that they invented was the crash out. Was okay, I'm finna hit you upside the head with this metal. Now that could be a bullet, that could be a sword, that could be a pole or whatever they was using. First of all, whatever they was using against the Native Americans, that's first and foremost. But that's where it starts. That's where it's starting your mind. It's just starting your mind. These people are good at crashing out. So when you got a person or you got a group of people that already then crafted their spiritual system, right? Because they running and they got civilization, aka the Native Americans. When you got people running that or whatever, and they're like they coming over here with nothing, so they looking like, how is these people doing that? Okay, this is where they about to have the conversation with the natives. The natives gonna say, okay, we came from the sky, we came out the water, um, you know, teaching them our morality. So when you do this and when you do this and do this, so they listening to us and they're actually thinking we roasting them or we playing them. So they thinking we playing them or whatever, and they listening to this dialogue between us two and shit like that. And this is what the natives told me too. They think we playing against them, hearing this dialogue, and some of the things that we say is the reason why they didn't have land in the first place. So they came up in their mind like, okay, let if y'all think that is the reason, what is stopping us from crashing out on y'all right now? You feel me? And putting bullets through all of y'all and calling that God. And the natives telling them was like, well, we come back here and shit like that. And it's stupid for you to do that because it's only gonna lead your mind to be a little bit more degenerate down the lifetime. And that's when everything that's when it clicked. They said let's risk it. You feel me? And this is the start of white man playing God, because they looking at it like y'all shouldn't even have that belief. Now our beliefs were so cold, and based upon how we did it with the astrology, it was helping build the land. It was helping build, you know what I'm saying? So when we telling them things, and we not saying we did this, whatever, we looking pristine, we ain't really showing them that we did something negative. They self-reflecting. So they like, no, y'all had to do something. So the things we telling them, it looked like we're playing without, or it looked like we're in some fantasy land, or we look like, so they got, once they got that, they they killed everybody. They killed all the natives, the chiefs and shit like that. And then they started to plagiarize it. And this is where you get the creation of the Bible. This is why the Bible has so many Native American references and stuff like that. All the way down to Yahweh, Yehovah, and stuff like that in the Bible. That's Native American tongue. All the way down to the Jews being the Ashkenazi and all of that shit, and them building early on in the 1700s with the Native Americans. That is what built the land, built the built the structure and stuff like that. That very base argument right there. So get deep. It get very deep. And these are the things that you gotta consider, you know what I'm saying, if you're in a position where you're looking at it like, well, why do it seem like it's hard for me to get around outside of this system and things, outside of me being in college, outside of me being in so, and then they all the way down to, they they make jokes about you being in college. Like that is the thing that make you smart. Like, I'm not that, no, it gives you network. It gives you leverage in the world that was created and things, whatever. So y'all gotta realize at first that y'all don't even start questioning nothing at that point. You get what I'm saying? So their whole thing is to plagiarize. You get what I'm saying? So even the Bible, it's it's a conversation between Native Americans and the white man, but it's more of them. If they say, they always say Jews wrote like the Bible and shit like that, right? So even in the accounts of the the Jewish people, you know, um, learning from Native Americans, you would see a lot of stories and history of them um, calling Native Americans one of the 12 tribes of Israel and things. And really, that's just them at the time making the natives a part of what they already had going on, which is trying to learn how to better fit them into society, stealing and shit like that, but trying to fit them into their society or try to assimilate them into their society. And then once they realize, okay, how they think just not going to do it for us, and we would have to, that's when the killing started. That's when the killing started. So you got to be able to understand like which character that they're trying to place you in, because um, it's all by force. None of it is by um, none of it is by. See, we had the Native Americans. We didn't have to force people to build and stuff like that. It was just like the things that we did and said people wanted to build. So when they got over here, they couldn't do that. They couldn't make somebody get off their feet and be like, "Oh, let's go build this building or whatever." The reason why you is going to work and stuff like that is because if you don't go to work and you gonna feel like you're gonna have all of these people around you that's looking at you like you ain't about shit because you're not having some white man paper with a face on it and thing. So they copied the system and started forcing people, just started forcing people, but because it was no cameras and shit like that back in the 17 1600s, they was able to erase all they what they did. Now it is cameras, but now you feel like it's something that's done by God, like life is created by God. So this is when the programming start through movies, through media, through etc. And then you will have them come up here talking about, uh, the media is wrong and fighting against the media, and like no side of the wing, no side of the wing is on your side and things. It's all in benefit of them. I don't care if it's Democrat, Republican, it's all the same. So that's what you need to remember. You know what I'm saying? Dealing in this, um, dealing in the world. So we got to address a couple things. So all of you kids in Chicago and shit like that, y'all are puppets because y'all being trained to be them. You know what I'm saying? Y'all trained to crash out. Not everybody that I'm talking about, the ones that specifically within the gangster movement. Y'all, the reason why y'all so promoted, the I don't give a fuck, I'm a crash out and things, that's energy that they was in and shit like that. I don't give a fuck, I don't want to listen, I'm a crash out. So they reward that energy and things. And it's a part of their thing, their law. All right. So always remember, like, if you a native, even the desire to be rich, that's a weak desire and stuff like that. Not in the sense of not everybody should want to be, be well off and things of that nature, but that whole concept was created and manufactured. So you don't know what you would be without um, the white man, and that's how they like it. So they make you. We're gonna get into it. What did I write there? Shit. Choosing things, all right, yeah. So let me just tell you the trick. So this is what Democrat and Republican is. Okay, it's more so of a. I'm gonna tell y'all the highest knowledge that you ever going to know before you actually get to the details, the devil in the details. This is what your mind is going through when um when you're interacting with this, let's call it bird or whatever, they eagle, right? And shit like that. Even though the Democratic Party was created after us and shit like that, when they was taking motherfucking lands and copying and stuff like that, you know. So they always trying to play us always all the way down. So they always gonna have people online with fake views and stuff like that, cause y'all all playing. They always trying to do a better version of a Native American for them, type shit. Okay, so this is the true energy that you in when you looking at Democratic Republic. This is what they do. This is the people say the psychology behind it, and this is shit that we taught them too. Things. Okay, so it's really forcing you towards running away from danger via metal, via they gonna kill you, they gonna shoot you, they gonna take over, aka dictatorship. That is Republican, right? That's what we associate Republican, like extremist and dictator type shit, right? So that's what it is. Forcing you to. Can y'all still hear me? Is my mic still good? Cause I just got a call and shit like that. I'm just trying to see if my mic's still good. So can somebody drop in the chat if y'all can hear me? If nobody drop, it's two people in here. So somebody drop in my chat. Okay, shout out to Drake, yo. Shout out to Drake, yo. All right, but yeah. So the whole thing, right, is forcing you to run away from danger and things. So that's what the Republic, and that's the danger, whatever. So right now, even that's what the Republicans are doing. They forcing you to run away from danger, type shit, and that danger that you're gonna be running away from is like the dictatorship, whatever. Boom. But that's all tied back to their only talent, which is having medals and stuff like that, and being able to kill you if you don't do nothing. Not they can get on here and make somebody believe in what they're doing, right? While okay, so they force you to run away from danger, while the danger is telling you that your escape in those ways are dangerous, which is true. Um, and the escape that the escape is going to be the Democratic Party, which was built from the Native Americans, but let's call it who what they be calling it now, the Jews or whatever. That's what they call it, right? So they force you to run towards the danger while telling you that your escape is dangerous and shit like that, which it is, but that is true, but they just as dangerous as the other people. And then they both working together. How do we know this? Because at the end of the day, both sides are rich. Both sides are rich, right? So, so, um, this is the practice they uphold of them celebrating how your thought is lost. So just like you need the Democratic Party because you're black, you're Hispanic, you're minority or whatever. This is them forcing you to need them and shit like that. While they still run it, and then what do they say? Don't they say Jews run business? Don't they give you minimum wage? Don't they allow you in their citizenship, but you still got to be up under them? Don't but don't they still pay taxes to the upper people? and shit like that. So that's the first way to look at it. So this is the practice of them celebrating how your thought is lost. And this is that whole situation that I was talking about, as far as them um, practicing sarcasm amongst the natives and taking over the natives, because they still use some of the native things, some of the native teachings and stuff like that. Having peace, having love, and just waiting and wait on the Lord's return and stuff like that. So that's just them playing on your mind to wait on a Native American. We still waiting on the Native Americans to come back, y'all. That's all they saying. We still that's the sarcastic white man um literature thought, literary thought. All right, because all right, so this is the practice of them celebrating how your thought is lost and has been lost, uh, because this is the way of them shaming your God in a sarcastic way, because they gotta believe that you stupid for having a belief about peace, choice, and um, exercising knowledge, right? Peace and fair choice and exercising knowledge. That's what the natives was about, the Beauty Way path. And once they saw that we built civilization off of that, and we wasn't as harsh as them and things of that nature, they thought we were stupid for having all of these resources, but still being able to be infiltrated by them and them practicing their only talent, which is to crash out. You know what I'm saying? But it truly just came come down to they can't compete on that level, and if they did try, their wife gonna be looking a little too hard. So, so once a nigga wife looking too hard, I was saying that's when you got metals you getting melted. That's when you got metals getting melted. You feel me? Got good metals getting melted. So that is what the is the they don't so they don't it's no the Jewish religion was their liberation is about how to escape being under ethnicity type shit. That's just the same thing that the white boys do and stuff. So they birds of a feather flock together. It's not different and shit. It's both the same thing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this started all the way back in the day though. Back in the day. So so the reason why gangster rappers are lit is because they're upholding a character of a white man in early colonizing stages, which is using explosive metals and crash out behavior. That's why the desire to be rich is a weak desire, because likely is based off the content of what they have set up as a society for you to play into. Yet, aka, hey, I got a good old piece of American pie. Yet they control every piece of it. They control. So let's take who the richest person. Let's call out richest person: Kevin Hart, uh, Kevin Durant, Michael Jordan. They still all up under the Democratic Party because they're not on the side of hating niggas. You know what I'm saying? I don't know you know what I'm saying? But they still kind of playing into the witchcraft though. But they're still up under that, and it's still somebody that issued a checks. They not the ones giving out checks and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's still somebody that issued a check, so they are still in a low realm of reality. They still up under a white man's concept, and so they allow uh they allow what is positive and they allow what is negative. And that's when we get into what how that's when we get into how white man is playing God in the first place. They allow them to be positive. I mean, they allow what's positive and stuff like that, and then they have their version of negative. So they play the God and they play the devil. So that that is them. So we might have been like, yeah, the devil is when you do this and stuff like that. Now they was like, man, the devil was when you do this. And then based upon them getting out of that position where they didn't have to do that anymore and upholding that routine is how they feel like they closer to God than you and stuff like that. But you know what I'm saying? It's just it ain't nothing but I can't do it without having a gun or explosive. That's it. That's it. So when you think any day you think you get up and you think, oh, I'm just doing what I gotta do. No, you're doing what they made you do. You're doing what they made you to do. Okay. So if you don't think, and so if you think Michael Jordan or whatever or LeBron is the richer person, no, they under Democrat. You know what I'm saying? They're running away from racism, so they gotta run to the Democrat and things. And then now they got this new psyop where it's like, oh, if you run to if I mean the Jews is y'all problem or whatever, and things of that nature. But that one ain't going good because the people that they got on that side of the is coons, and then they got too many foreign minds where they don't even relate to the spirit no more. See, back then, at least the way it worked, because the natives was teaching the Africans and shit like that. They was still teaching the ways of the land and shit like that. Now we just got people over here that's born up under, Dumlock and born from foreign thoughts and stuff like that. They not convincible, you know what I'm saying, to the people that's influenced by the native spirits. So, uh, so yeah, that's how they play God. You know what I'm saying? They force you. Let me just read this. In the early 1700s, once we got established based upon us and our chiefs running an intricate society, like I said, we had the society already running. We already had language and things. We already had, um, houses and shit like that, whatever. They looked at it that as, damn, that's something they wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? That's what they wanted to do. Now, once we started to explain them how that we took power and things of that nature, you know what I'm saying? That's when insecurities got to taking over. You know what I'm saying? That's when insecurities got to take it. Like, y'all did that, man. Hit that nigga up with a metal. hit that engine with a metal and stuff like that. They didn't understand it. They didn't understand it. They didn't understand it. So the whole thing is always forcing you to need them, and that's how they feel good. You know what I'm saying? That's how they feel like they're in that space. That's the only way they can do it. But it only can be used by force. You know what I'm saying? It only can use by uh, knocking off a couple people. You know what I'm saying? You can't, you're a rabbi. I can't sit in front of my face like they sit in front of Kanye and stuff like that. I know the origins and things. You know what I'm saying? Kanye don't know the origins. Kanye looking stupid. You know what I'm saying? Kanye is finished. You know. So I warned him though. I warned him. I had videos warning him and stuff like that. Didn't I have a video on my message to Kanye and stuff? How everybody was gonna be doing messages and things, message videos, but now you see everybody doing videos where they not associated with him because, like I said, what are they doing? They running towards the Democrat side. They're running towards not being an anti-Semitism. And then Kanye he's still getting, he not understanding that both, he said that, but he not understanding it. So it's just a loss on his end. But yeah, so this is when we like I said, we taught people how to build it off of inclination. So once you were established with how we did our rituals, spells, our virtues and principles and things like that, you know what I'm saying, you would be able to build a house. You will be able to build more sufficiency in society and things. And so their only thing was, oh, this is what y'all did. Okay, let me force y'all out of that position and force y'all to need us and things. So, but none of what you need them for is ever going to make sense. Though you go to religion, you gonna get confused and things. You go to them for money and stuff like that, you're gonna get shorted. Business, you're gonna get a bad contract. So it's all sarcasm written literature that they celebrate. And celebrating it is what you see in politics, what you see in um what you see on, yeah, you know what you see on media and things, what you see in um gangster music, what you see, anything they get their views to. That's the celebration. So you may look at it as a event and no, it's a celebration of how they took over y'all. All right. So they never could do that. Obviously, they learn how to map medals and show you who is the biggest pride crash out. That's their only talent, which has nothing to do with anything but manipulation and force shaming, trolling, and secretly hating you for having a belief of there that things are inherently good in things. You know what I'm saying? So that instead of using things that are inherently good, we got jealous, small hat, small caps. So I already read that part. But the mind of choosing these things in general is what a demon is, because you already up under a concept. So don't, like I said, even the desire to be a millionaire is demonic, but not like how y'all think. Like, oh, everybody need to be broke, and no, it's a lower, it's a concept of under something. So you will never see that, your imagination will never see the light of day and things. Um, like I said, it's based off force and somebody being willing to create explosive and crash out quicker than you. So that was a talent that they had. We didn't have that talent and things. So we had defense and things. But once a person go to extreme, you like, oh shit, this is a talent of yours. You know, like you go like, damn, god damn, you got this talent. Oh shit, let me be quiet. You know what I'm saying, like, we don't got that talent. We rather, I'm saying, we rather come back next lifetime type shit. You know what I'm saying? So this is what they was dealing with. Like, yeah, but so this is witchcraft to have your right brain fighting so oh yeah, so the witchcraft is to have you fighting your right brain, and this is why they use politics and all of their pillars to exercise fighting your mentality and things. And that's what the Republican is and Democrat is, whatever. So it's always about fighting your right brain, fighting your left brain, or being confused between the right brain, all the way to the point where they made the Democrat, which would be the right brain, they made them the left. And that came from us being online, being like, okay, yeah, the left part of your body control the right. You know what I'm saying? The left part of your thought control the right and stuff. They get deep. What I'm saying. So truly, y'all life is meaningless. You know what I'm saying? A lot of percentage of y'all life is meaningless because it's up under a concept. You know, you don't know what position you would be in if these white people didn't come over here and bear their talents. which is crashing out. You get what I'm saying? And them needing some place to stay, and them not ever wanting to go back home. You feel me? So yeah, it get deep. Uh, but yeah, so that's what it is. That's what it is, man. Chat. Shout out to Trickio and this bitch. Y'all know how we go. Y'all know how we coming. And I see since they taking down videos and stuff like that, I'm gonna have to start my YouTube uh prep Patreon swag too. I'm gonna have to do that too and stuff like that because I don't know how they coming, gang. I don't know how they coming. But yeah, so this is why how the white man secretly play God and things of that nature. So it ain't no when you hear them say God and stuff like that, that's basically them say government. They're saying government, don't test our government type shit. Don't test our talents. And we all know what their talents is now. Y'all know what their talents is now, hitting you upside the head. You know what I'm saying? With a good old hard metal and thing. And crashing out. That's the only talent they have. You know what I'm saying? No smarts, no ability to run a country. You know what I'm saying? The only talent they got is forcing. For red Republican, getting ready to force you to do something, whatever. You need to get with them Democrats. Well, we gonna hit you upside your head. Everybody run to the Republic, to the Democrat side. Okay, we ain't gotta get you upside your head, but you do gotta have, you know what I'm saying, some of these beliefs, and you do, um, you do gotta worship our business and stuff like that. You know, you can take 80% of your check, but worship our business and stuff like that, whatever. So it's like you stuck in between two and stuff. You riding a good old bird and stuff. So now you're gonna wake up hating your job and things of that nature. You're gonna wake up hating your job and things, which in turn you hating your job, what you doing externally is gonna turn into you hating your mentality because your mentality don't go as far as knowing anything, you know what I'm saying? And this plays on the mind, you know what I'm saying? Because you start to get confused in ways that you actually shouldn't be confused. You know what I'm saying? So you hate that natural inclination and stuff like that. Like I'm saying, so you might turn into a Republican. Oh, I need to start hating these Jews and stuff like that so I can get more sovereignty in here. But they doing bad with that, like I said, because obviously nobody want to be on the side of the racists. So it ain't like they're gonna do anything with y'all anyway, like kill y'all off or anything. They need y'all to be on that side. They need y'all to. So it's reverse psychology. It ain't really them hating them saying they hate the Jews. Is basically them saying they hate, you know what I'm saying, Americans and shit like that. So and y'all need to get y'all ass to work type shit. So it's a little it's forcing you to hate yourself, but accept you hating yourself, Democrat, because you hating a lower fraction of yourself. Like even in business, with a lot of these things that y'all get liberation in, entertainment and stuff like that, y'all still be at major detriments. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't own y'all masters. Even if you do, they find some way to still switch up the rules, get you. You know what I'm saying? They find some way in things, but it's all based off that white man melting that metal, and that's the and that is their talent. So don't you ever put it in your heart that God is doing these things. That God is no. you if you experience it now, you're not getting hit with a metal, but you're gonna get hit with bars because eventually it's gonna be metal somewhere because you gonna either try to steal something, you know what I'm saying? You gonna either try to, you know what I'm saying? So metal coming somewhere. I was saying metal coming. What happened to the trees? What happened to the trees and shit? Good old knits and stuff like that. What happened to the trees? Trees. Burned them all down, put their face on it, made a paper, made y'all worship them and shit. Money. Um, and so anytime you think you're doing good in society, it's because of them. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I gotta say. And shout out to everybody that joined the live and shit like that. And just go look at the live and I appreciate y'all. Hopefully this stay up. I'm gonna wait to upload. And yeah, it's Kelsey though, the spirit coach, getting your ass in shape and form for the age of Aquarius. Yeah.